We are back here on Healthy Living. Once again, we are with Tom. Say your last name.
Bouthillet.
Bouthillet. I love that. I can't believe I forgot. I'm so focused on defibrillators and CPR. And we're talking about AEDs. We're talking about cardiac arrests. And it's an amazing show. I really appreciate you doing this.
Of course.
All right. We're down here on the ground. Talk us through what we're doing, what we're going to do, and why it's important.
Okay, so first of all, someone's just collapsed. Let's say we're on the golf course.
Okay.
Right away, we know it's a medical emergency.
Because I've done no, go.
Okay, you're further along than me. But,
Okay, go back then.
From the moment they collapse, you know that it's a life-threatening emergency. So we got to call 911, and we have to accurately report where we are.
Okay.
So it would be really helpful if you knew that, for example, you were on the 9th fairway at George Fazio Golf Course, something like that. That will be enough for our dispatchers to know where to dispatch the crews that are going to come and help you.
Okay.
Okay. So hopefully you're on the phone right there, and maybe it's a cell phone that you can put on speaker with our dispatcher, so you can put it down on the ground. You've got open communication with our telecommunicators.
Okay.
Okay. And help's on the way.
Now I'm going to do what you told me.
Right. So no, go. Someone has suddenly collapsed. Our first question is, are they conscious? Can you hear me? Are you okay? No response. We've got our first no. And now we're going to ask our second question. Are they breathing normally? Well, let's say our friend here is either not breathing at all, or they're only gasping, or they're snoring.
Okay.
That's our second no. Then go. This person needs CPR, and we're going to send someone to get the AED. Let's start with CPR.
Okay.
If possible, we're going to expose the patient's chest like this.
Okay.
We're going to take the heel of a hand, and we're going to put it right in the center of the chest, in between the nipple lines. So you're going to turn the heel of your hand this way, just like that. You're going to take your other hand over the top. You're going to get close with your knees, stand up straight, and lock your elbows. Right. And now we're going to start CPR at a rate of about...
Row your boat.
There you go. Give it a shot. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. So there you go. It's a little faster, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you want to go a little bit deeper.
Okay. Row your boat gently down the stream.
Right.
I'm worried I'm going to hurt him.
You're not going to. And even if they have a sore chest later, that's a lot better than death.
1, 2. What's the count?
Well, we're going to do 600 chest compressions, which is going to take about 6 minutes. And by then, hopefully, we have excellent response times on Hilton Head Island. So we're going to keep that up until EMS arrives at the scene, or until someone shows up with a defibrillator.
Can you do it and show us the real way now?
Sure. Okay. So, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, they're unconscious. I got my first no. Are they breathing normally? Let's say they're not breathing at all. So now I know this person needs CPR. I'm going to find my landmarks like this.
Oh, look at that. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. And you keep going.
And I'm just going to keep going. Now, I'm going to continue to breathe normally and try and relax a little bit, because I have to keep this up for a long time. You're going to find out how long 6 minutes is. So hopefully someone else that knows CPR is going to show up, and then the two of you can kind of switch out.
Okay, my turn?
Sure.
Right?
That's really good. Yeah.
Well, because if it's me down there, I want somebody who knows what they're doing.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey,
it's hard to do a proper CPR.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm like, my heart rate's going. Plus, I'm nervous.
Right.
Of
course, yeah. This is an abnormal event in someone's life if they're not medically trained. Absolutely. So I'll tell you something else that we do a much better job of today than we used to do, and that is following up with people that have done CPR in the community. So now, if you have performed bystander CPR or deployed a publicly available AED, we will collect your name and contact info when that occurs.
Okay.
And sometimes our cardiac arrest survivors want to be reunited with the people that did the CPR after the fact. So we arranged that meeting.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing how just on a mannequin you can feel your adrenaline like this counts.
It does.
All right.
No question.
Now, AED.
Right.
Here we go.
So, we're on a golf course. Let's say someone runs to the clubhouse and the ranger grabs an AED and shows up on his golf cart, and all of a sudden an AED shows up on scene.
Now I'm scared.
Well, don't be scared. Sometimes you can be so focused on what you're doing that you don't even hear somebody say, hey, here's the AED, and drop it next to you.
Okay.
So this is what I would say. People are always like, oh my gosh, this is complicated. I'm trying to do CPR. Now there's an AED here. I could do one or the other, but I'm confused now because I feel like I have to do both. So here's what I would suggest. Turn it on. When it shows up, open it up and power it on and follow the voice prompts.
Okay, so let's do this. I am doing CPR and I'm pretty focused.
Okay.
Row.
There you go.
Would I ask you to do this?
Yeah, you could if you're getting tired. You could
No. Would I say, can you turn that on?
Yes, absolutely. If someone has not done that, you just say, okay, could you turn that on? So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to power it on.
Okay.
Connect electrodes.
So it's asking me to connect electrodes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this package. Okay.
And I'm continuing
These
to
are
do
the
CPR.
electrodes.
Connect electrodes.
Most of them have labels that show you exactly where the pads go. Okay. So take the time and just kind of make sure they go in the correct place. You'll see
Check
this.
connector.
This goes in the
electrodes.
patient's upper right chest
Now,
here.
am I stopping CPR?
Just as much as you have to.
Okay.
We're going to continue CPR until the last second here. So I'm going
Check
to
connector
put one
and
pad right here.
electrodes.
Okay. And then I'm going to take the other pad and see it shows it on the patient's left chest down here. So I'm
Check
going to peel off
connector
this pad.
and electrodes.
There we go. We're going to put it right down here, just like it
Just
shows
like
on
it
the
shows.
diagram. Right. Now, this is a piece of plastic, not a real human
Check
being.
connector and electrodes.
So in reality, what would happen at this point is it would say, analyzing heart rhythm, do not touch the patient. And now you know to stand
Back
clear
off.
while the computer analyzes.
Okay.
And then it will say, hopefully, shock advised. And then you will hear the capacitor charging up. And then it will say, push to shock, and this orange button will flash.
Okay.
You will push the button
Okay.
and then get right back to CPR.
Ah, don't take these off. Don't do anything. Go right back to CPR.
Leave it exactly the way it is and go back to CPR. By this time, I'll bet you a good 5 or 6 minutes has gone by.
Okay.
Sometimes this will ask you to give a second shock about 2 minutes later or another rhythm check. If this starts talking, follow the voice prompts.
Okay.
If you're not following the voice prompts and you're not shocking, we're doing CPR.
So what is my patient doing? What are things that my patient could be doing at this point?
Excellent question. This is very unnerving for people that have never seen someone in cardiac arrest. If you start doing chest compressions and now you're circulating oxygen to the patient's brain, there's a very primitive part of the brain that might stimulate them to take a breath. So here you are, you're a little bit scared.
Right.
You don't want to hurt this person, which you're not going to do. You're doing the right thing
Okay.
if they've passed this no-go test.
Okay.
We're doing compressions, but all of a sudden the person goes, takes a breath. People want to stop. They're like, oh my gosh, that's really creepy. What just happened? I'm not sure what to do. That means you're doing a good job.
Keep it up.
Keep going. That means
Okay.
you're circulating oxygenated blood to the patient's brain. It means there's still something there. So we're doing a great job and we shouldn't stop.
So what I hear you say is that I keep this up until an EMS comes, a paramedic comes to.
Exactly. Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, if it turns out that it wasn't cardiac arrest, that they were having a seizure or something like that, which I suppose could happen if they wake up and put your hands away, then you can stop.
Okay.
It's no big deal. A lot of times, you'll find out very quickly whether or not they needed CPR or not once you start CPR.
But you're going to always err on the side of safety, is what I hear you say.
We're always going to err on the side of starting chest compressions.
Okay.
We don't want to just remain in a state of indecision for 5 minutes. It's really easy to do that. So what we're going to do is just ramp up to CPR quickly. Because remember, if the person wasn't complaining of anything and was out golfing, the most likely explanation for why they
Correct.
suddenly collapsed is that they went into cardiac arrest.
absolutely fascinating. I mean, I think this is so amazingly helpful. You would arrive on scene, you would take
Absolutely.
our patient.
Absolutely. So,
and I would go have a Diet Coke.
There you go. Well, you would give your name and contact information to our staff.
Okay.
And we try to follow up with folks. Make sure they get a letter of thanks from the fire chief. We'll probably follow up and give you our fire department's challenge coin.
Okay.
And we give you an opportunity to talk. If there's any closure that you need, if you need to talk about
That's
it to
huge.
resolve it, we give you that opportunity. And sometimes, if the patient survives, they want to know who helped them, and several times now we've arranged a meeting between the cardiac arrest survivor and the bystander that performed CPR, and it's very meaningful for both of them, so we like to do that too.
This has been an amazing interview. We thank you so much for your time. Nice job. Thank you
You're
all
welcome.
for joining us here on Healthy Living. Please have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.